So how do wind farms affect crop dusting? You and I have an insatiable appetite for electricity. Come with me and we'll look at the issues relative to wind farms and the communities that they serve. This is the Windfarm Guy. Hi, this is Dennis Stout, and thank you for joining me for this episode of the Windfarm Guy. A common misconception about wind farms is how they affect a farmer's ability to use aerial application for their farm. The two most common things I hear are, one, crop dusters will not fly a field with a wind turbine or with a turbine nearby. And two, if they do fly the field, crop dusters will charge the farmer more for flying that field with or around wind turbines. But reality does not bear this out. Crop dusting has been around for over a century now. The first known occurrence of aerial application took place in New Zealand in 1906. John Chater hopped in his hot air balloon with sacks of seed, took to the sky and drifted over the swamped valley floor below, spreading his payload. And a new industry was born. Through the years, crop dusters got a reputation of being kind of crazy. Not because they have some mental issue, but because you and I see what they do and respond with, "Wow, I could never do that. That is crazy." Let's be honest. They are flying upwards of 150 miles an hour, very close to the ground, and making those amazing U-turns. They have to be crazy, right? Ag pilots are special people. They have to be great at multitasking and love adrenaline. Let me first go to a painful reality. There are folks not directly involved with aerial application that still deal with the stress of worrying about their pilots. Sometimes pilots do not make it back home, leaving their families traumatized. Crop dusters put their lives on the line every day to do what they love. These pilots have to be a special kind of person to do what they do. Every day, they help farmers grow their crop so that you and I can sit down and enjoy a good meal. So what's so dangerous about crop dusting? Well, first, it's the payload. The planes carry about 500 gallons or more of chemicals, some of them dangerous. And just being around some of those chemicals can be hazardous to your health. Second are obstacles. Many objects on the ground can be hazardous to their flight. Power lines, communication towers, grain bins and elevators, wind turbines, met towers, trees, homes, and even onlookers, just to name a few. Side note, the FAA requires structures 200 feet tall or taller to have certain lighting and marking so they can be seen by pilots. But there are fewer requirements on structures shorter than that. Fortunately, wind companies place ball markers and such to make their met towers more visible. Third is speed. Crop dusters fly at speeds up to 150 miles an hour and as close as 6 feet off the ground. Then they pop up, make their turn, and drop down quickly and do it again. Fourth is fatigue. As if carrying those chemicals at those speeds and being fully aware of their surroundings wasn't enough, they do it all day. These pilots can fly from dawn to dusk and log many hours at a time, and often in stifling cabin heat. And don't forget those turns. A crop duster's turn can put as much as 3 G-forces on the pilot every time. That's 3 times the force of gravity, hundreds of times a day. Flying hours on end like that can have huge negative effects on the pilots. Yet, the demand is so high, they continue to work despite the long days. Fifth is maintenance. The maintenance of the plane can be just as dangerous for the pilot as anything else. Any of these reasons can result in serious injury or even death. Despite technological advances and the aviation industry becoming highly monitored and safety conscious, crop dusting remains a dangerous line of work for its pilots. Current numbers are hard to come by, but in 2017, 0.02% of ag pilots had a fatal accident. To put that into perspective, that same year, there were over 40,000 people killed in car accidents in the U.S. alone, giving it roughly the same fatality risk as crop dusting. Think about that for a moment. When we toss our car keys to our teenage daughter and go somewhere, she is assuming the same risk as a crop duster. I can't even wrap my head around that. At any rate, aerial application is a dangerous job. However, I'd like to learn what the causes were of those specific crop dusting accidents. One source I found, when describing the dangers of crop dusting, listed these 4 things: power lines, stalls, fatigue, and high pressure from farmers. These pilots have to be on the top of their game. One pilot said, you have to be at peak physical performance to survive the busy seasons. You also have to know when it's time to quit, either due to physical fatigue or mental fatigue or sleep deprivation. The head game is a big part of safety. Well, ag flying is a physically demanding and hazard-rich environment. Collision with objects, namely power lines, is the most common cause for accidents in this type of operation. I'm all over the country with my work, and I recently visited with several ag pilots. Some are concerned about wind turbines, and some are not. Some charge more while around turbines, and some don't. Some complain, and some see it as an opportunity. I get this kind of split. A helicopter ag pilot once told me that it was a huge opportunity for him. Other plane pilots' actions caused a lot of business to shift in his direction, and his business grew fast. He told me that he does have a surcharge, but it's not because of the wind turbines. It's because of the fixed-wing ag pilots in the area would charge more to fly a field around a turbine. So the farmer would leave only the small area around a turbine for the helicopter to fly. Because he has to go up to 50 to 100 miles away to crop dust those small tracks, he had to add a surcharge. Basically, they were throwing him scraps, so he added a delivery charge. If you like what I've shared today, please subscribe and click below. If you have thoughts or want me to address a topic relative to wind farms, please leave me a comment. There is also a respect issue here. Wind companies should respect the farmers and pilots and make every reasonable effort to work with them. Pilots and farmers should respect the wind farm workers in the field and let them know when it's going to happen so the workers can get out of the area. Farmers should respect the pilots because of the tremendous risk they are assuming and not pressure them. Pilots should respect the farmer by being honest about their time and physical, emotional condition. This all boils down to communication. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Bottom line is aerial application is a dangerous job. There are many factors that play into the risk associated with it. Reducing these factors is a big step in making it safer. As I see it, we need more ag pilots. It appears that the root cause of accidents is fatigue related. So let's get some more pilots in there and reduce the workload. That would improve aerial application safety and fast. Let me close by saying this. Aerial application is a head game. Pilots are taught repeatedly to never go up unless they are 100%, and never go up angry. One Los Angeles-based pilot warned, anytime anyone, be it your boss, dispatcher, or farmer, makes you angry, do not get in that airplane. Stay on the ground until you calm down. If you do not, you will never see those power lines. And on that note, I'll say never yell at your pilot. If someone pressures a pilot to go up when they shouldn't, and heaven forbid something happens, well, let's take care of our pilots, shall we? This is Dennis Stout, and I'm the Windfarm Guy. Thank you for watching. Working together, we can make good energy decisions and save our planet. I am the Windfarm Guy.